This week's guest on Why Sarasota is no stranger to the camera. An Emmy Award-winning journalist and a member of the Broadcasters Hall of Fame, Bill Martin spent over 30 years covering Cleveland. Today we're going to meet with him to learn a little bit more about why he's choosing to call Sarasota home in retirement. Come with me. So Bill, of all places that you could have chosen for retirement, what drew you to Sarasota, and what are some of your favorite activities to do around here?
I kind of grew up here as a kid, so my parents, my grandparents owned land up in St. Pete and went there a lot. So I was at Sarasota Jungle Garden, I think, when I was 5. So mom's in Fort Myers, my sister's in Dunedin, and this is halfway.
Very good, very good. So if you were covering the local news here, what's the hit that you'd want to get brought out on, or hits? If you were back in your news reporting days, if you were like, yeah, that's a thing I'd like to cover here in town.
Look, the Gulf Coast, I always tell people, is more Caribbean. My brother's in Fort Lauderdale. That's a lot of action. He likes the action. We like a little more Caribbean, and that's the Gulf Coast. It's absolutely beautiful here.
It sure is. It sure is. So in your expansive career in covering the news, any stories that come out that stand out, something that was really a highlight of your career that you covered?
Oh, we did everything. You know, talked to presidents and movie stars and all the rest of it. So it's fascinating. You know, been around the world and then some. So everything's been amazing, just amazing.
And so, you know, we're in this broadcast yourself generation, social media, right? Everybody's kind of thinking about getting in front of the camera or doing it like I am. So any tips, words of wisdom you have for somebody that's wanting to do it, but is maybe apprehensive about taking that leap and putting themselves in front of the camera?
The biggest people I always tell people that come into Anchor is be yourself. You have to learn to be yourself. I watch your stuff, so you're yourself. It's really good. You're listening to interviewers and be yourself. Those are the top two.
Very good. Sarasota itself, I like to ask people, can you describe this area in 3 words?
Amazing, incredible, lots to do. How about I add a few more words?
Please do, go for it. So you've interviewed some presidents. Who are they? Maybe who was your favorite personality that you met with?
I did Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and I think that's about it. I tell you, one of my favorite interviews, and we became pretty good friends back in the day, was Bill Shatner.
Okay.
So Captain Kirk, I love him. So we had a great time talking, and we became Hey Bill, Hey Bill. So my favorite interview of all time is Captain Kirk.
Very cool. And I know you're an avid golfer, you and your wife both. What are your top maybe 2-3 favorite golf courses here in Sarasota that you like to play?
We're at Waterleaf right now.
Sure.
Absolutely love that course. Lakewood National, phenomenal course. And then I want to play again Esplanade.
Sure.
That's a great course too. Great layouts.
Yeah. What's the most difficult of the 3?
Waterleaf.
Yeah.
They call it water grief for a reason. So if you're not straight, you're not placing the ball, you're in the water.
I often measure my game down here of how many balls I lose during the round and not necessarily put the final tally.
Look, we were playing Waterleaf the other day. I saw a manatee, saw a pod of dolphins. It's absolutely beautiful. So.
Very cool. What would be your encouraging words to maybe those folks up north, like we're both from, that are thinking about moving down here?
I have an older daughter moving down right now. She'll be here in July. And she's so excited, but she didn't want the hype of the East Coast. She wanted the calm of the West Coast, which is awesome for Florida. You can kind of pick what attitude you want.
Absolutely.
So coming down here, it's like, just dive in. There's a lot to do in Sarasota. There are great restaurants and bars and cultural activities. So dive in, make friends, and the rest will just come to you.
And I often say, if you want to make a friend in Sarasota, put on a Bills hat, because you'll meet somebody from our neck of the woods originally.
Anything of Bills, Browns. Being a Browns fan is a little tougher than being a Bills fan. But we're Bucks fans now because we live here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Bill, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. You're awesome.
I'd like to thank Bill and his wife Judy for having us into their home today to learn a little bit more about their journey to Sarasota. If you're considering Sarasota for a place to call home in retirement, reach out. Be well.